Where's a good guy doll when you really need one? I'm John Stark from M3gan, and this is my review of M3gan, or Megan, whichever one. And yeah, I'm one of those people. M3gan just dropped on Peacock, and it has audio description, and I'm a blind film critic, so I felt compelled to check out this movie about a murderous little doll that did very well at the box office, by the way. So you might have heard of this film. It's definitely not some weird thing that just shifted onto streaming surprisingly. And you're like, what is this? I have no idea what this is. I think everybody knows what this is by now. And yeah, I was looking forward to seeing. I've heard it's a bit nuts. It's a bit cuckoo bananas, and sure, I guess that's one way of looking at this. Okay. It's PG-13 horror, so it doesn't go very far. It's also not trying to jump scare you. I mean, maybe it did, and it just was ineffective at it, but I think it's more of like a conceptual horror film. But Megan is definitely technologically advanced. She would fuck Chucky up. Like, absolutely fuck Chucky up. Just, I know I made the Child's Play joke, but like, Chucky would roll into the room and Megan would just like rip him in the half or something. I don't know. I have no idea what would happen to Chucky. He would not be alive. That would be what would happen. Yeah, so this little cyborg doll that retails for $10,000. The only reason our title doll gets into the world is because our star, Allison Williams, is the one who created her. So this is one of those fun movies. A little Frankenstein's monster action going on there. What have I created? She inherits her niece after her sister and husband, or sister and brother-in-law, that's what it is, die in a car accident. She ends up inheriting this little adorable child, played by Violet McGraw, who is actually the younger sister of Madeline McGraw, who was just in The Black Phone. It's a good family. These are like the next Fannings, I can tell, because both of these girls have delivered excellent performances, by the way. So very, very much worth casting. And I can't wait till somebody realizes that they can be in the same film, since they actually look like sisters. Violet is mourning I'll use her real name. Violet is mourning the death of her parents. And it's also her pet. She had some weird AI technology pet that was obnoxious as shit. So obnoxious. I'm gonna throw that thing out the car window. I don't know. I love the commentary there. Like, I always remember the dolls that the realistic baby dolls that we had back in the day, that they made the ones where you like had to feed them and change their diapers. I'm like, why? Why would anybody want to do that? Why is that a thing? Why is that a thing that children find fun? Why is this a thing? Why are we training like elementary school age kids to one day grow up and be moms? And already, like, why is this considered to be a toy? So we have created AI animals, I don't know, forever friends or whatever they're called. Some, perpetual pets. I think that's what they're called. And they never die because they're not real. But they're annoying as ever loving hell. Just ever loving hell. And so they decide to step it up, and then they go for, I guess, um, the new AI version of My Buddy and Me, with or with our kid sister version, Megan, and Megan is programmed with a lot of cool technology that makes her seem incredibly real. She can do a lot of different things. She just, needs to charge up. That's pretty much her thing, is that she has like a charging stand. So I don't know what Megan's long-term prospects would be without her charging stand. I don't know how long she actually thinks she can live, but she does need to charge. So there you go. Yeah, she starts learning, and she starts seeing things as a threat, and she's supposed to be this girl's best friend, so she just starts eliminating the threats, and in a very pretty PG-13 way, where it likes to cut away from things and suggest that things are happening, and that's Megan. She wreaks havoc until the film reaches its climax, where the family fights, and I think you can guess where this movie's going. Although they've already ordered a sequel, so just because this movie ends a certain way does not mean, just like with Child's Play, does not mean we will not see Megan again. We will see Megan again in the sequel. Yeah, it's this film has a lot to say about AI technology, and I would say in a much better written understanding of what technology can and can't do, and what makes it creepy and what doesn't make it creepy, as opposed to like Mr. Harrigan's Phone, which seemed to be written by somebody who just didn't understand technology and was afraid of it. Like, I remember, like, that movie was bad for an entirely different set of reasons. It was just like, I don't know what this is. It's evil. It must be evil. I can't work it. How do I get to my voicemail? No, this one seems to actually understand the potential of AI and exactly what unwieldy AI technology could actually do, and when you put it into a body, what it really could do. There's some other, like first generation type robot stuff that also is in here, and different toys. I love that the film starts off with Allison Williams. Just, she's so not prepared for this. I mean, like, she lives her life in this house that is not set up for kids. She doesn't really have anything set up. And she's one of those people that collects toys but doesn't open the boxes. So, like, when she gets home with this kid who has no toys, because her shit hasn't gotten there yet, so she has nothing to play with. Of course the kid notices the toys, and she's like, "Oh, don't, those aren't for playing with. Those are to look at. those are collectibles." It's like, okay, yep, you were absolutely prepared to be a parent right now in this world. Yeah, and she uses technology for everything. She's part of the generation. She actually asks little girls, like, "Can you read me a bedtime story?" And she's like, "I don't have any kids' books. I'll download one." We have to sit and wait while she downloads a book from. She's like, "The app needs an update." So, I feel like that's commentary on apps updating as well. So, yeah, there's some fun stuff here. I didn't love the movie as much as some other people. There's some people out there that are like, "Oh my god, I love Megan. Oh my god." Tonally, it's not necessarily. It's a little bit all over the place. Tonally, it's not really sure what it wants to be. if it wants to be in on the joke or not. I feel like sometimes it wants to have both. It wants to be taken seriously, but it also totally understands that some people are going to find this to be funny. So it puts some stuff in there. The actor playing David is like over the top obnoxious, so that you're just like waiting for his death. You just he's a character that plops into a horror movie that you're like, there is not a chance in hell this guy makes it out of this film. There's not a chance. It's not even a spoiler. Anybody who's ever seen a horror movie look at this guy and be like, yeah, yep. Number one candidate for death in this film is going to be this guy. Sometimes you got that character that's so obnoxious, it's either, you know, the yelling neighbor, the angry ex-boyfriend, the whatever. There's some character that's doing something that's so obnoxious and annoying that you just know that the killer thing in the movie is designed to meet up with them at some point. And he's insufferable. I just hated his performance too. I don't know. I didn't love it, but I didn't hate it. I thought M3gan was entertaining. I understand that M3gan in some parts is actually played by a real person, which I think is intriguing. I find that to be interesting because they make the robot has like real skin. Well, not real skin, but synthetic looking skin to make it look sort of real. I have no idea exactly what M3gan looks like, but they do talk about the stretching of this like skin-like material over the face of the sort of like a cyborg to try to make it look more realistic. So I think it looks less like a nightmare, perhaps, than you might think in a movie. I guess maybe that's the only thing, but I don't know how much. I mean, like, how deep does the audio description go in telling me? You know, be like, honestly, it just really. What's the narrator going to do? Honestly, it looks like a little girl. I mean, it's just to me, to my eyes. I'm telling you, it looks like, it just looks like a little girl with like blonde hair, and she's like about she's got like little rosy cheeks, and I can't tell that she's a robot. You know, I mean, like I can't get that level of, of audio description, so we just kind of get that. But there is an actual actress that's associated with playing M3gan, so there's that. So that dancing that everybody is going nuts over, which was somewhat hilarious in the context that it was given. Only because it's so random. It's so random when they put it in the film. I'm like, what is happening? So I don't know. This is something. It's something. You know what was fun about Child's Play was that it took itself 100% seriously. It really did. And then we were allowed to have fun with it from that point on. We were allowed to either be scared by it or laugh at it, depending on your reaction to Child's Play, when you saw it in your lifetime, anything like that. It was all, the first film wanted you to take it seriously. Whether you thought it was good or over the top or cheesy or corny, whatever, it went for it. It was absolutely committed to its premise and its plot. And I can't say that M3gan always feels like it's committed to its plot and it's committed to its delivery. It kind of feels like sometimes people are in different movies. And then sometimes a different scene is in a different movie. It just, it doesn't quite feel like they went 100%. It feels like they tried to safely go for the horror comedy, but they didn't put enough comedy in it to really make that work. that would be my thoughts on M3gan. The film is unintentionally funny maybe sometimes, but I definitely think that Chucky makes things more interesting than M3gan. M3gan, a lot of times when she talks to people, she just talks to people like a deranged person. I don't know if that's funny because it's coming from a little child's doll, but I don't know, it was just lost on me a little bit. But the funniest thing that she did was that dancing, because it was so random and out of place. It had no purpose. It was just so weird. But yeah. And actually, I kind of was like, wait a minute, but I mean, I get why she did that, but at the same time, it could have been more beneficial for her to pretend to actually be functional, considering they were on the precipice of launching more of her. So I think for 2 seconds, if M3gan had thought, oh, let's pretend, then we would have a sequel that makes sense, because there'd be M3gans everywhere. And I think that could have been a terrifying ending to the film. And I don't know why the film didn't go there. I don't know why we didn't head in that direction. I guess it's maybe slightly a bit of a spoiler, but it's so out of context. You'd have to wait until you got to that part of the film to be like, oh, that's what he's talking about. Yeah. So that's my thoughts. It was trying to be as vague and non-spoilery and wishy-washy on not ruining anything, but there's definitely some stuff in here that deals with spoilers that kind of affects how I feel about the film and the choices that were made. But this is the best description I can give you and review of the film. I don't know. I think I would have preferred, instead of it dipping its toe, either to go fully in or stay out. Don't just dip your toe. I didn't feel like it was enough in the comedy. This film is a little bit overrated, and if it has like a 93 on Rotten Tomatoes, and I'm like, come on. That's a bit much. And I know Rotten Tomatoes is basically like, it just means like 93% of critics gave it like a thumbs up, essentially. It doesn't necessarily mean that everybody's giving it an A grade and its average is 93. But that's the tomato meter score that everybody throws around, means that 93% of the people liked it. And yes, I would say my grade, if I was on the Rotten Tomato score, would be, if I'm going fresh versus rotten, I would give this a fresh score. So, and actually my grade is fresh. But I don't know. I guess I'll see a M3gan 2 at some point. But yeah, the audio description, I, for the most part, did fine. I don't know that it possibly could have described M3gan any better to me, and that maybe would have been my only thing. I just don't know how. I don't know how long the narrator can sit there and be like, I don't know how to tell you this, but she looks really super real. I mean, I can't, like, if she was my child, I would not know she wasn't an android. Like, I don't know. That's the only question. That's the only, like, how real does she look? Like, how 100, like, that's the only thing that really I felt like coming out of the film, I didn't really know. Like, could she, like, attend elementary school and not be noticed? Anyway, so I'm gonna go ahead and grade this. I'm gonna give M3gan a B-. It's entertaining enough for what it is. It mostly commits to trying to be serious, but I think Chucky is a lot more fun. So I do. I'm sorry. Yeah. So Let me know what you think in the comments. And if you're not a subscriber, please subscribe so I can continue talking to you about movies with audio description. This is what I like to do. I found out that I just, a couple days ago, reviewed Skinamarink, and it didn't have audio description. And then somebody responded to me and they were like, I was just hired to do the audio description for this. I was like, wow, weird how those things work out. So maybe we'll see that in the future, have audio description. That was a nightmare to watch without it. So I'm just trying to further the cause of audio description here. That's what I want to do. And I need more people on my I need to have the power. I need the power to pressure people into adding audio description to their films. I also have a website, MacTheMovieGuy.com. You can follow me on Twitter or Instagram at MacTheMovieGuy. You can go to the audio description project, adp.acb.org. It'll let you know what has audio description, where you can watch it. And you can go to the adna.org. That's the adna.org. Let you know who is doing these films. Peacock never lets me watch credits, so yeah, I don't know what it was trying to push me into. Luckily, I got out of it before it started pushing me into the other title, but I don't know how to change that setting. Anyway, that's it for me today. Thanks for watching, and I will review something else and see you on the other side.